The night wind cut sharper than usual as Maya tightened her daughter Lily's scarf. The city had a way of reminding her, every single day, that life was harder when you had nothing. She held Lily's small hand firmly, their steps quick as they left the corner grocery store and started down the cracked sidewalk. Maya knew she should have taken a taxi, but every coin mattered. Rent was late again, electricity was due, Lily needed new shoes, and her boss at the diner hadn't approved her request for an advance. Walking was the only option. "Mommy," Lily whispered, tugging gently at her arm. "Yes, baby, those men are staring." Maya's stomach dropped. She didn't want to turn, didn't want to confirm, but she already felt the weight of eyes on her back. Two men lingered by the streetlight across the block. Their laughter was too loud, too intentional, and the way their footsteps echoed after hers confirmed what she feared: they were following. She pulled Lily closer. "Keep walking, don't look back." But the men didn't stay behind for long. "Hey sweetheart," one called, his voice rough. "Pretty late to be out alone, huh?" Maya's pulse raced. She quickened her pace. The street was empty, shops already closed. No one to help. The men's footsteps grew louder. "Don't run, we just wanna talk." Terror prickled across Maya's skin. Lily clutched her arm, eyes wide. And then, her little voice rang into the night, breaking with desperation. "Daddy, please help her." The words stabbed into Maya's chest. Lily had never known her father, he'd left before she could even remember his face. Maya had tried to fill that void, but children always long for what they never had. Tonight, that longing turned into a cry to the darkness, a call for a hero Maya knew wasn't coming. Until headlights cut through the alley. A sleek black car pulled to a stop just ahead. The door opened, and a man stepped out with a presence so commanding it silenced even the laughter of their pursuers. Tall, broad-shouldered, a face carved with sharp lines and an expression that was all steel. His coat alone looked worth more than Maya's yearly wages, but it wasn't wealth that made him terrifying, it was authority. The kind of man who was used to being obeyed. "Is there a problem here?" His voice was deep, calm, but with an edge of danger. The men shifted uncomfortably. "Just talking to the lady," one muttered. The stranger's eyes flicked to Maya and Lily. He took in the fear, the way Maya shielded her daughter behind her, then returned his gaze to the men. "Walk away, now." They hesitated, muttering under their breath, until the stranger's driver stepped out of the car as well, massive, expressionless, and clearly trained for situations like this. That was enough. The men retreated into the shadows. Maya's knees threatened to buckle with relief. She held Lily close, whispering, "It's okay. It's over." The stranger stepped closer, his gaze softening slightly as he crouched in front of Lily. "You called for your daddy, didn't you?" Lily nodded, tears streaking her cheeks. His lips curved into the faintest smile. "Well, I was nearby." Maya stared at him, still shaking. I don't know how to thank you." "Don't thank me," he replied, straightening. "Get in the car, I'll take you home. It isn't safe to walk." Every instinct told Maya not to trust strangers, especially rich ones who lived in a different world. But Lily was trembling in her arms, and the idea of walking those dark streets again was unbearable. She nodded. "All right." The car's leather interior was warm, smelling faintly of cedar. Maya sat rigid, Lily curled against her side. The stranger sat across from them, his sharp eyes studying her with a mix of curiosity and something she couldn't name. "You live around here?" he asked. "The East End," she answered softly. His expression tightened. Everyone knew the East End. It was the poorest district in the city, overrun with crime and neglect. A dangerous place for anyone, let alone a woman raising a child alone. When they arrived at her crumbling apartment building, Maya hesitated. "I don't know how I'll ever repay you." "You already did," he said simply, glancing at Lily. "You kept her safe." Before she could reply, he was gone, swallowed back into his car, leaving Maya with more questions than answers. Maya assumed that was the end of it. Men like him didn't cross paths twice with women like her. But the next morning, as she struggled with groceries and a stubborn lock, a familiar voice startled her. "You shouldn't have to fight your door just to get inside." She turned, and there he was. The billionaire. He looked just as immaculate as the night before, though out of place against the peeling paint of her apartment complex. His name came to her then, from half-remembered headlines and whispered conversations at the diner: Alexander Grant. Real estate tycoon. Billionaire investor. A man both admired and feared. Her heart pounded. "What are you doing here?" "Checking if you made it through the night without trouble," he said casually, though nothing about him seemed casual. This building is no place for a child. Maya bristled. This is what I can afford. Not everyone has a mansion. He didn't flinch. I didn't mean it as an insult. Just the truth. Lily peeked out from behind Maya's leg. You came back, she said shyly. Alexander's hard expression softened. He knelt again, eye level with her. I told you, if you call, I'll come. Maya's throat tightened. She had raised Lily alone for years, shouldering every burden. No man had ever said something like that, not even Lily's father. To her disbelief, Alexander stayed. He carried her groceries upstairs, fixed the loose hinge on her door, sat at the tiny kitchen table and listened while Lily told him about school. And Maya watched, stunned. This man who could buy and sell entire skyscrapers was giving her daughter the kind of attention she'd never had. Finally, as the afternoon sun poured through the window, his gaze grew serious. Maya, those men last night, they weren't just drunk. They've been seen around before. You and Lily aren't safe here. Her voice broke. What choice do I have? I work late shifts. I have no one else. He was silent for a moment, then spoke with quiet resolve. You have me. Maya froze. Why? She whispered. He looked at Lily, then back at Maya. His voice was low but firm. Because no child should cry for help and be met with silence. Not while I can do something about it. Maya's eyes stung with tears she didn't want to show. She'd built walls around herself for years, convinced she could survive alone. But here was a man, powerful, intimidating, and yet, sincere. Alexander rose, straightening his coat. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk more then. As he left, Lily waved. Bye, Daddy. The word hung in the air, heavy and bittersweet. Maya expected Alexander to correct her, but he only paused at the door, gave the faintest smile, and left. Maya sank into a chair, her heart racing. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But she knew one thing with startling clarity. Sometimes the heroes who arrive in the night don't vanish with the dawn. Sometimes, they stay. And maybe, just maybe, this was only the beginning. The east end of the city was always cruel at night. Streetlights flickered, shadows stretched too long, and the air smelled faintly of rust and smoke. Maya adjusted her daughter Lily's scarf as they walked out of the grocery store, clutching a paper bag of rice, bread, and the cheapest apples she could find. Mommy, can we go faster? Lily's small voice trembled. Maya frowned. Why? Because those men are staring. Her stomach tightened. Two men leaned against a lamppost at the corner, their eyes sweeping over her in a way that turned her blood cold. She quickened her pace, tugging Lily closer. Hey sweetheart, one called out. Pretty late for a walk. How about some company? Maya ignored them, heart racing. But their footsteps echoed after hers. The streets were deserted. No shops open, no neighbors around. She turned down a narrow alley, praying it would cut the trip home in half. Wrong decision. Their laughter followed, bouncing off the walls. Don't run, the second man jeered. We just wanna talk. Maya's throat tightened. Lily clung to her arm, whispering, Daddy, please help her. Her voice broke with innocence, calling into the dark for a father she never knew. Maya's chest ached. No one was coming. Then, headlights. A sleek black car pulled into the alley, its engine low and steady. The door opened, and out stepped a tall man in a dark coat, his presence radiating authority. Alexander Grant, billionaire, investor, the kind of man people read about in glossy magazines. But tonight, he wasn't a headline, he was their only hope. Is there a problem? His voice was cool, carrying steel beneath its calm surface. The men shifted, suddenly uncertain. You've had your fun, Alexander cut in, his gaze sharp. Now walk away. They hesitated until his driver, broad-shouldered and expressionless, emerged from the car. That was enough. With curses under their breath, the men disappeared into the night. Maya sagged with relief, holding Lily tighter. Thank you, she whispered. Alexander crouched to Lily's eye level. You called for your daddy, didn't you? Lily nodded, eyes wide. Well, he said softly, I was close enough. Maya blinked at him, still trembling. Why did you stop? His eyes flicked over the cracked pavement, the darkness, then back to her. Because I don't walk away from things like that. Let me drive you home. Maya hesitated. Trusting a stranger, even a famous one, felt dangerous. But Lily was shivering, and the thought of walking again made her stomach twist. She nodded. Inside the car, leather seats and cedar polish made her world of chipped tiles and flickering lights feel impossibly far away. Alexander sat across from her, studying her as though she were a puzzle. You live here? He asked when the driver pulled up to a crumbling brick building. Maya's cheeks burned. Yes. He didn't reply, but something flickered across his face, concern, maybe even anger. As she got out, clutching Lily, she said quietly, I don't know how to repay you. You already did, he said, eyes on Lily. By keeping her safe. And then he was gone, the car melting back into the night. Maya stood in the cold, her heart still pounding. Billionaires didn't save women like her. Yet tonight, one had. Part 2, the next day approximately equals 760 words. Morning sunlight streamed weakly through the cracked blinds. Maya tried to push last night's encounter from her mind, chalk it up as a strange, fleeting miracle. Men like Alexander Grant didn't cross paths twice with single mothers scraping by in the East End. She juggled a grocery bag in one arm, Lily tugging at her sleeve with the other, fumbling with the stubborn apartment lock. You shouldn't have to fight your door just to get inside. Maya froze, then spun around. There he was. Alexander stood at the bottom of the stairwell, as immaculate as before, his dark coat impossibly clean against the peeling paint of her building. Her breath caught. What are you doing here? Checking if you made it through the night, he said matter-of-factly. This place isn't safe. Not for you. Not for her. Maya bristled. This is all I can afford. I wasn't criticizing. Just stating the truth. Lily peeked out from behind Maya. You came back, she said softly. Alexander's sharp features softened. He crouched again, eye level with her. I told you, if you call, I'll come. Maya's chest tightened. Lily had never heard those words from anyone, not even her real father. To Maya's shock, Alexander followed them upstairs. He carried the groceries with ease, fixed the squeaky hinge on the front door, and sat at the chipped kitchen table while Lily chattered about her school drawings. Maya couldn't stop staring. A billionaire, sitting in her tiny apartment as though he belonged there. Finally, Alexander's gaze turned serious. Maya, those men weren't just drunks. They've been seen around this district before. You can't walk alone at night. Her voice cracked. What choice do I have? I work late shifts at the diner. There's no one else. Silence stretched before he spoke, voice low but firm. Then you have me. Maya's heart skipped. Why? He glanced at Lily, who was now happily drawing at the table. Then back at Maya. Because no child should cry for help into the dark and be ignored. Not when I can answer. Tears burned in Maya's eyes, though she blinked them away. For years she'd built walls, taught herself to rely on no one. And now, here was a man offering protection, maybe even more. Alexander rose, adjusting his coat. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll figure something out. Maya swallowed, torn between fear and something dangerously close to hope. At the door, Lily waved. Bye, Daddy. The word froze the room. Maya opened her mouth to correct her, embarrassed, but Alexander only paused. A faint smile touched his lips before he left without a word. When the door shut, Maya sank into a chair, her pulse unsteady. Billionaires didn't linger in lives like hers. And yet, maybe this was different. Maybe this was only the beginning.